Children and teachers from Eleanor Primary in Tufnell Park have been selling handcrafted goods all afternoon to fund the £14,000 needed to install solar panels on their school. This project is coordinated by Solar Schools, a climate change campaign group created back in 2009. They claim that their scheme will not be able to survive when the 87% cuts to subsidies are introduced in January.
And I completely understand the need for digression with subsidies. If it carried on forever, it would be completely unsustainable and quite frankly ridiculous. But when you cut it so drastically with very little warning and very little time for people to adjust, that really affects an industry. We're losing international investment, we're losing national investment. When the certainty was there, the plan was there, I don't quite see why it was cut so drastically.
The Mayor, Boris Johnson, promised to make solar schools a priority, but only 1 in 15 currently benefit from solar power. Repowering London is a non-profit organisation who brings solar panels to the roofs of council houses across the city. For them, there is a high demand for community-owned solar projects in London.
There's enough money, there's enough sun, there's enough will, and particularly in London where it uses 13.5% of the UK's energy, we have an opportunity and a demand, even from the big supply companies and generation companies, for our work.
Currently, it takes about 12 years to pay back a solar installation on an average household. But with the planned cuts, it will take up to 28 years before being able to make a profit from solar panels. Energy Secretary Amber Rudd refused to comment, but defended the cuts by saying, "We need to keep bills as low as possible for hardworking families and businesses while reducing our emissions in the most cost-effective way." But some believe that these cuts will not only have an impact on the environment, but will affect the economy as well.
The whole thinking behind the feed-in tariff was that it was going to be reduced over time anyway. What they've done is chopped away at it in one fell swoop. I've heard of estimates about 2,700 jobs being lost as a result of the cuts in feed-in tariffs. That's clearly unwarranted in these times, and I think that's the kind of base that you need to help solar panels being adopted.
Without the feed-in tariff, community-owned solar projects might not be able to survive. These projects are in high demand, and without the feed-in tariff, solar risks being left in the dark. And the Mayor's plan to reduce London's carbon footprint by 60% in the next 10 years could struggle to see the light. This is Alexander Green for City News.